What is going on, guys? My name is Drakesy and welcome back to episode 22 of the Manchester United career mode. As you can tell by my voice, I've not been well recently, but I am going to try and push out an episode. I am on the recovery of the illness, so I'm feeling fine, but my voice just isn't fully with me at the moment. So I hope if you can excuse that for this episode, and fingers crossed it'll be back by the next one. Maybe not if I record that right after this one. But without any more waffling, we're going to get on to the always beginning part of this career mode, and that's going to be answering your questions from last episode. So without any further ado, let's get to them. So one of the comments came in from the user Harry Sanderson, and as we can see, Harry Sanderson said first comment. Now this is a pretty regular comment to be getting, but you know, well done, and I just thought I'd include it because, yeah, it was the first comment. Then the same guy proceeded to comment a few more times, and some of the comments that I'm going to just bring up just onto your screen are some player suggestions. So as you can see, here's one comment where he suggested Dele Alli, Renato Sanchez, Antoine Griezmann, Leroy Sané and Joshua Kimmich. Now we're not going to get them up on the screen, but I do believe the majority of these players are already on our watch list. But if they're not, then I'll be sure to get them on in between episodes after I've finished recording this. I'll go and stick those players on the watch list for you, so thank you very much for that comment. So as I mentioned, he did comment 3 other times as well as this, but the last comment that I do want to get up that he did comment was this one. Harry Sanderson said, how many more seasons will you be doing of the series? I don't want it to end. Now this is a regular question that we do kind of get up on the channel from a few people, and I've had it a few times as well on other videos, but really guys, it's just if you guys are watching the episodes, then I will keep posting them, but maybe when we get to the end of the season we can decide whether we want to carry on with another season of this with Manchester United into the second season, or whether we start fresh with a new team. So make sure to get your answers in the comment section below on this episode, and maybe we can decide from the comments below whether we start fresh with a new team or carry on into a second season with Manchester United. Maybe I could even do a poll in the top corner. If I've not done that, then just comment below what team you would prefer to see. The next comment comes from the user called Xcord. Now I do believe this guy has been one of my viewers since some of the first episodes I was putting up. I believe his name's Alex, if I'm correct. So yeah, thank you very much as always for watching, and a fantastic comment to see, saying good to see you back again. You know, to see the support and stuff from anybody, you know, commenting nice comments like this is what makes me want to carry on do the series. And yeah, so thank you very much, and that's all I say to anybody who comments very nice comments like that. And then one of the last comments I'm going to bring up is this, as we can see. So it's from Berat, a guy that once again regularly views my videos, and he's just put in the comment section up here, sometimes when I go to sleep I say to myself, does Drake say, you know, wonder if we effing miss him, come on, be more active. Now all I can be honest and say is, you know, you're 100% right. I am not active enough at the moment. I don't regularly upload, so I'll hold my hands up and say, you know what, you're fully 100% right. But as you can tell, at the moment, I was going to come back a bit sooner making these episodes, but with me not being well, it took it completely out of me. And the main thing at the moment is studying at university, so, you know, you can't really be putting your studies aside for YouTube when you're not making a good enough living off YouTube, and the money that you're making from YouTube isn't enough. So I'll try and be more active over the summer. I did comment this back to him and stuff, but I'm just telling you a video just because then you can hear it coming straight from my mouth. So yeah, sorry once again, and I'll try and be more active, but fingers crossed I stay well and I don't have any work to be catching up on. So yeah, thank you very much. So now we're going to be getting straight back into the episode. So thank you very much for your comments and stuff. They're always good to read and reply to, even if I'm not active with videos on the channel. But like I said, keep commenting, and one of the main comments I want to be seeing is whether you guys actually want to be carrying on this episode, this series with Manchester United into a second series, or whether you guys would maybe prefer a different team and we'll start fresh with potentially somebody like Dortmund or Bayern Munich or maybe Real Madrid or Atletico Madrid. There's a lot of teams out there that we can choose from. So yeah, if you want to try with a new team for a potential new series, get it down in the comment section below, and potentially the one that gets the most likes or gets the most support or mentioned the most, maybe we could even do something like that. So for some reason my game had a few errors then and I had to restart the whole game as a whole, so we've managed to reload the game back up and we can carry on where we left off. So yeah, a sports media journalist has approached us ahead of the game with Chelsea and they've come out to say you're going to be playing your big rivals, and apparently rumours are coming out that you're not going to play Alvaro Morata, you plan on dropping him. So the reply that I probably want to give out is probably, I don't want to talk about my team in the run up to the game. I want to keep it neutral. Whether we play him or not, it's not this guy's interest and business to be knowing, because he's probably going to print it out on a paper and get everybody knowing our little secrets. So we're going to keep it away from him, and we're going to move ahead closer with the game against Chelsea. As we can see, we're going to be playing at Stamford Bridge, always a hard stadium to play at. But fingers crossed we can pull the win. Let's see who Chelsea's #1 player is. Of course, it's Eden Hazard. Same rating as Paul Pogba, 95 rated. That's incredible. In 24 appearances, he's got 15 goals, 10 assists, and then 4 man of the match appearances as well. Cesar Azpilicueta is 93 rated and Diego Costa 94, and then Nemanja Matic also 93 rated. Some very good players in their squad. We're going to have a good game. So this is the lineup we're going to go for against Chelsea. It's a bit of a risk. We're going to be playing 3 at the back, so you know, people might be debating on whether that's a good idea. I guess we'll find out by half time and potentially make some subs around that time. And see, and you know, try and pan out where we can go from there. But as we can see, one of the suggestions that I was asked to be covering in the comment section was, if we're going to be playing 3-4-3, potentially put your wing backs on attacking forward with both arrows. So yeah, we're going to have both players pushing forward on the pitch, and we've also changed our instructions to attacking back down both flanks. Now if this isn't working for us, we can always change it at half time, like I said. But for now, we're going to stick with this. Fingers crossed, I'm hoping we can get a big win, or just a win in general against our big rivals Chelsea. As we can see, they've lined up with a very, very strong team indeed right here. Kante, probably the standout player for them in real life. But fingers crossed, they're not as good this time around. So kick off has begun already and the match is underway. So there's been no highlights up until this point. Costa dragging the ball forward through to Pedro, back onto Costa, Costa in the box, and he looks like he shot at David De Gea, but David De Gea was not able to save it, and Chelsea go 1-0 up, something that we didn't need in the 31st minute, potentially coming up to half time. So we've got in at half time and the lads have put in a pretty good performance, but it's not been good enough, and we are in fact 1-0 down. Now I don't want to be changing too much, but to be honest, I think we could be doing a little bit better than we are. I think what I want to be doing is potentially, I'm going to change some stuff and then I'll get back to you. Okay, so I did actually remember that in a previous episode we did speak about not doing changes at half time because the game doesn't register you doing the changes themselves. So what we're actually going to do is play it back into the second half, and then a minute in we're going to pause it and then do the substitutions then. So the second half is about to get underway. Chelsea kicking off. Wait for it, and they've kicked off, so we're going to give it a quick pause. So the one substitution we've done is swapping off Pogba for Mkhitaryan in the centre midfield position. Fingers crossed something comes of it. If we can at least pull a draw, that wouldn't be too bad, but it's not looking good as Chelsea are on the attack. Who is number 2? Number 2 is Blind, and they've took down Oscar, which is a bit peculiar because Oscar is no longer even playing for Chelsea, but in our imagination he is. As we can see, Matic with the free kick, Costa dragging the ball through in the box, but David De Gea, safe hands, is there to stop it. So that is how the match ends, 1-0 to Chelsea. Once again, not the best result at all in the Premier League. We want to be getting better results than that if we want to be finishing top 4. But David De Gea got the standout man of the match performance. Pedro got the assist for Costa's goal, the only goal of the game. But not too bad of a result really against Chelsea, but we could have done better. As we can see here, Thiago Alcantara's rating has been impressed. He's been doing well in training apparently, and he's gone up to a 92 from an original 91 rating. This is fantastic to see for him going up. He's only 25 as well. You kind of forget how young he is in real life. But yeah, looking pretty good for us right here. So our next matchup is in the Europa League, as I'm sure you will know. It's against our English rival, Premier League rival, that is Southampton. And fingers crossed we can pull a decent enough result from this game. It's going to be played at Old Trafford, and as we can see, it's the regular squad right here, with the addition of Marouane Fellaini, who we did in fact transfer to them. So fingers crossed he doesn't come round to bite us on the bottom and manages to have a very good game, potentially beating us and kicking us out of the Europa League. But I can't see that happening. We've got a very, very strong team indeed, and I'm actually going to change up the formation for this game after the last result. So the next lineup and formation we're going to be going up for against Southampton is in fact the 5-3-2-A formation. As we can see, I'm going to put it up on your screen now. It was recommended by the user Extreme Gamer. They said try the 5-3-2-A formation. Now to me it comes across very, very sweaty indeed, and I'm sure you guys will be thinking that too, but there's no problem in trying it out, seeing how it pans out, seeing if it plays out very well for us or very bad. But as you can see in the lineup, as it is the Europa, I've kind of stuck in a few players that maybe don't get as many games for us. Players like Rooney and Thiago sometimes doesn't get that many games as well. But I've stuck with the strong back line. I've put Luke Shaw and Darmian back in again, even though they didn't have the best game last game, but they were pushing forward. Thiago in the holding midfield position, Mkhitaryan and Pogba in front of him, and then Martial and Rooney up top. And the match is underway, and it is Southampton kicking off. Already it looks like an attack for us. Luke Shaw crossing in the ball to number 7 being Mkhitaryan. I think he got a header, but it was going nowhere. Excuse that was my water bottle, but as we could see then, Southampton had an attack, nothing came of it. Darmian crossing in the ball, I think to number 11. Couldn't see who number 11 was, but it is going straight to the hands of the goalkeeper. Another attack, Martial onto Mkhitaryan, but Foster is there to save it. Not Foster, sorry, Forster. Fraser Forster. Looks like a tackle here for Pogba. Pogba's got a yellow card. So much action already in the first 20 minutes of this game. Looking like it's calming down a bit as we come into the half-time moments. So yeah, nothing came of anything then. Kind of nullified the whole game, kind of went quiet after a bit. As we said last game, we're going to play into the second half, just a second, pause it, and then do the substitutions then. So we're getting ready to kick off. Martial kicking off with Wayne Rooney. The game is underway. We are going to pause it, even though there is a somewhat cutscene here. So as we can see, the cutscene is underway. Luke Shaw onto Pogba, Pogba onto Martial, and Martial has in fact scored a goal. But at the moment that we did that, we have in fact made a substitution. It's telling us that we can't make a change, but the change that we did in fact just make onto the pitch is that we've subbed off Martial and we've brought on Zlatan Ibrahimovic, as we can see the substitutions going on here. And then we've also took off, I believe, Pogba because of his yellow card, and we took off Pogba and put on, I think, Michael Carrick or Herrera, I think it was Carrick, in the CDM position and brought Thiago forward. So it looks like we're going to run this game down. Mkhitaryan taking the free kick, close free kick on to Zlatan Ibrahimovic, but Fraser Forster there to save the ball again. Another attack for us here. Fellaini bringing down somebody in the box, quite controversial. Potentially people thinking it's rigged, Fellaini bringing down a United player. Zlatan Ibrahimovic steps up and takes the penalty. As he does, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Godman Zlatan. 2-0 up in the Europa League. But maybe not for long, as we see Jones stepping up for a free kick on the edge of the box, but Mr. Safe Hands, David De Gea, there to stop it. Another attack for them here. Charlie Austin pushing up the ball, number 9. Marcos Rojo looking like he's coming in a bit reckless there. Potentially going to get a yellow. Luckily it's only a yellow. Whilst we still have got 10 minutes left, I think I'm going to substitute Marcos Rojo off for potentially Cereces, just so we don't get him a red card. So as we can see, there goes Marcos Rojo. Cereces coming on in place of him, just running down the last minutes of the game. And as we can see, Mr. David De Gea, Safe Hands McGee, manages to get man of the match again. That's fantastic stuff for him. Zlatan Ibrahimovic with the goal. Pogba getting an assist for Martial's goal. Funnily enough, the two guys that got took off were the guys that we actually combined to get the goal, if that makes sense. The guys that I took off actually got the goals and the assists, so maybe that was a wrong move, but I had already made the moves before I'd seen that they were combined to make the goal. I don't know if I'm making sense right now, but all that matters is we're through to the next round, I believe, in the Europa League. So now we're going into our third and final match of the episode 22, my lucky number, episode 22, not episode 22 is my lucky number. But as we can see, it looks like it's going to be in the English Cup, and the last 4 teams in it are Tottenham, City, Newcastle and us. Either way, it looks like we're getting to the final because we are against Newcastle, but you can never be too sure. Let's have a look at some of their players. Chancellor Mbemba's 88 rated, Alexandra Mitrovic 88 rated, Atsu, or is that Atsu, yeah, Christian Atsu, 88 rated as well, and then Jack Colback 87 rated. Not a bad team for a championship squad. You know, it's a pretty good team overall. Some of the players in there. But yeah, we're not going to let that phase us at all. We're not going to think they're a weaker opposition. We're going to put out a good strength team to potentially get to the final and potentially win some silverware this year round. So the formation that we're going to be using is the 4-2-2 formation, and that comes in recommended from the user Harry Sanderson, and in his comment, I can't speak today, he said I've won the league 2 times in a row in 5 seasons by using this formation. So, you know, he really does like this formation. We're going to give it a try because it's been recommended. I think we've used it before. I think when we played with it we did pretty well. Hopefully we're going to do well against Newcastle, but as we can see here, the formation that we're going to be using in the lineup is a very, very strong back line, one of our strongest going. We're going to hold back Chris Smalling and ask him to stay back with the goalkeeper and help defend a little bit more than potentially Blind, who can come out. We've got Carrick and Pogba in the CDM positions. We're going to bring Mata back in. I think he missed last game or the game before that as well. I think he's missed our last 2 games. One of our best players this season, so we're going to get him back in. Mkhitaryan, always consistent and good for us in matches. We're going to stick him back on the wing because he has been playing more further back as a centre mid recently. And then up top we've got the 2 M's, M&M. Like the sweets M&M's, we've got Morata and Martial. The combination play up top looks good there. So without any further ado, let's get into the match. Just a quick one, I did put the tactics on very attacking for this match. That's why I held back Chris Smalling. So fingers crossed we can potentially get a big scoreline here. So we are in fact at Old Trafford and United have kicked off. So the first highlight already is Jonjo Chevalier passing on to Mitrovic, onto Atsu, back onto Mitrovic, but David De Gea safe hands McGee once again there to stop them from scoring. Once again looking like another attack for Newcastle, not looking like the best. They're inside the box, dribbling it about, and I think that's Matt Ritchie, number 11, managing to get a goal. 1-0 down to Newcastle. They've had 2 very, very good shots and we've seen nothing from our guys yet. This is the last thing we need to be seeing. Come on. It looks like from nowhere it's going to be a penalty. Martial stepping up to take the penalty. One of their players getting a yellow card. Come on Martial, bring it back to 1-1 before half time. And he has done, cleanly slotting it kind of somewhat central but more to the right of the net. And the goalkeeper diving the other way. Looking like 1-1 we're going to be coming in at half time. I don't mind that. Yeah, half time 1-1. Like I said, in the last games we're going to start the second half, then pause it a minute in and then do our substitutions then so the game registers it. So as we can see, we've made a few more changes. We skipped a minute into the game so our little substitutions are going to be registered. As we can see, we're going to swap on Thiago and then we're going to put up Pogba here, so we're taking off Mkhitaryan. He's not done much and he has one of the lowest ratings in the team, with exception of Morata of course. Potentially we'll bring off Morata. We might even bring on Zlatan, who scored a goal for us last game. So that's what we're going to do there. We're also going to try and push Mata a bit more forward and attacking, and then make sure those 2 centre-backs stay back so we don't concede any silly goals again. As we can see, those substitutions are being registered as we speak, and the match is underway. Pogba with a very, very quick corner coming in. It landed onto number 16 and number 16 tried dribbling through but nothing came of it. Once again, Pogba knocking the ball through to Zlatan, onto Martial, and combination play was fantastic there, and we have gone 2-1 up against Newcastle United. Looking like potential for a last minute game winner. And it's Martial with a... Oh, Martial, what are you doing? I couldn't even speak, there was that much going on. But as we can see, I think the goalkeeper kind of interfered with the player. And then we got a penalty, second penalty of the game. But sadly, Martial did miss it, which would have made it a hat-trick for him. But we did manage to get the win. No fear, Martial got man of the match. Good stuff to see for the youngster once again. And our top goal scorer, I believe, this season. We will just check that quickly. As we can see, Man City beat Tottenham, so it looks like they will be our rivals in the final. Once again, my game telling me that it could not be saved. Fingers crossed I'll finish that up and sort that out after we finish filming. But yeah, as we can see, we are in the English Cup final. Fantastic news there. We've managed to get to a final, guys. Our next match up against Bournemouth, but quickly we're just going to see. So as we can see, yeah, with 12 goals, Anthony Martial is our top goal scorer. 12 goals is particularly low. Not the best, but as we can see, top assister Juan Mata with 8, and then highest average rating of a player is David De Gea. Good stuff there. And yeah, we're sitting at 5th at the moment, not sitting pretty at the moment really, but I'm sure we can push up into that top kind of 3rd-ish, up in maybe potentially finishing 3rd, 4th. But if we do carry on this season, guys, then potentially we can potentially try and win next season. But you guys let me know what you want to be doing. Do you want to carry on with this or try something different next series? So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that goodness, and yeah, see you in a bit.